Greetings, adventurers. This is DM Kurt, and as you can see, I have the first, second, and fifth edition player's handbooks in front of me. Uh, this weekend, I have a lot of work to do before my second edition game that I'm running and fifth edition game that I'm running. So, for the second edition game, all I need to do is make up one NPC who's probably only going to be with the party for about 3 sessions, in my estimation. It's a monk, and there's no monks in second edition unless you use a cleric and have the cleric's handbook. There is a kit in there that can kind of sort of make a monk, but it's just definitely not the same as the first edition books, and it just doesn't feel like it's the right thing. So for this case, I just grabbed a character sheet and I just threw on some stats that felt like, okay, this is more like a first edition monk. Unarmored, defensive adjustment, some hand-to-hand skill of he does this much damage this many times around, and there's a chance to knock out. Chance to knock somebody out cold. Okay, real low percentage, but it can happen. Few hit dice, kind of good to go. The second edition group is a pretty small one, and the gamers there have very similar styles. So that's pretty easy to run. The fifth edition group, we have more players. We have 5 of them, and they have different styles. So just to make sure that the quiet ones don't get or feel like they're left out, I make sure to every now and then ask one of them, okay, well, what is your character doing? What do you think about this? And make sure that I'm doing my part to engage them. Now, if they are naturally quiet, if they kind of have this style of I want to see what the others do, and then I want to act with that, react to it, support it, whatever. If that's their plan and that's the way they want to go, that's fine. You don't have to be the loudest or the quietest at the table, as long as you are enjoying what you're doing and you're happy with the way things are going. And that's totally fine. Just as a DM, I got to make sure that I try to hit on all cylinders and I try to engage on all of them. So that's the way I'm doing it. For the 5e game, when the party sits down, I will write down a little chart, and it goes like this: character's name, spelled phonetically so I can pronounce it, character's race and class, and the race and class gives me an idea of where to look if I need to look up any of their special abilities. Their armor class, so that in combat I don't have to constantly be asking people, what's your AC, what's your AC, what's your AC, which, it's just something that slows things down. Their hit points, so I can keep track, so I'm not forcing the math on them. They're having to erase and write over and erase and write over. I'm doing this on one page of a spiral bound notebook, so I don't have to worry about erasing it. You don't have those character sheets that get the hole rubbed through them. And their initiative modifier with a little blank next to it, so a little space, so that when it comes time to initiative, everybody rolls. And having the initiative modifier right there, I know who wins in the case of a tie. So we had 6 NPCs I had to write up character sheets for the 5e game. 2 of them are allies, which are going to be following up as a support element. They may or may not join the party if any characters die. So if any of the PC's characters dies, well, then we just, here's a substitute. We can throw this in there. It's a couple of elves. One's a fighter thief. The other is, I can't remember what. And the other 4 NPCs I had to write up were combatants. They are going to be enemies. So it's 3 kind of semi-cannon fodder. I could have found a stat block, in the monster manual, and there's, oh, we'll just use the champion stat block, just use the knight stat block, just use the, you know, spy stat block, whatever. You could do that. I chose to write up shorty character sheets, just kind of half filled out with whatever I felt like. And that kind of gave me an idea for some tactics they could use, which was fine for the 3 cannon fodder NPCs. The tougher one, the module I'm modifying suggested a cleric. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I went with a cleric who's multi-classed. I wrote up the spell list and I made some notes that these spells are going to be reskinned as having a slightly different appearance. And I highlighted certain spells I wanted to use so he could use certain tactics. And that should make for more exciting combat when I'm not just kind of fumbling through a list and goes, I don't know, I guess he casts lightning bolt or a magic missile. Yeah, I'll do that. If you're kind of hemming and hawing about what you want to do, you're slowing things down. And when you're standing in front of everybody as the focus of attention, you want to be on your game. So, yeah, Gareth Primo is going to be a badass, and he has the potential of escaping and becoming a bigger bad guy in future campaigns. So this could be a recurring character, which would be more fun than just having one more faceless goon to show up, take a few shots at the PCs and fall down. So that's it for my game prep. Is making up a bunch of NPCs this week. Monsters should be pretty much handled. I may be using stuff out of Kobold Press. I may be home brewing. We're just going to see as we go along. That's it. Damn Gert, out.